Ruben Dias is brilliant, and he has won the Football Writers Award for the Player of the Year. He came first. Do you want to guess who was second, or have you seen it? Do you know?
I've not seen it at all, but it'd have to be another City player, wouldn't it?
Nope.
De Bruyne?
Nope. Wasn't a City player.
Fernandes?
It was Harry Kane was second. Kevin De Bruyne was third. Just on Dias, there's another little element of the voting that I need to get into in a second. But on Ruben Dias, you can't really. I didn't vote for Ruben Dias, but you can't really argue he has been one of the best players in the Premier League, no doubt.
I'm glad a defender wins it as well because it tends to go, doesn't it, to the guys who the business end.
It's the first time in 32 years.
Is it?
A defender's got it, yeah.
Well, there you go. And I think I'm pleased, but I think it's been more of a partnership. I do at Manchester City, and you could have picked 3 or 4 of them at Manchester City who all could have won it. He's been excellent. It's been a top signing. They had Laporte last year. Everyone was saying he's one of the best in the world. This year, he can't get in for Stones and Dias, so it shows how it changes.
It's amazing. Let's hear from the man himself, Ruben Dias, speaking about his Football Writers Player of the Year award.
Obviously, it's a huge privilege. I'm very, very happy, but we will get to the same as always. Obviously, I could not have done it without the success of the team, without everyone in the team being able to deserve this award. Only by that, me as a defender I was able to be here to receive this prize.
Now, you said it could have been any 3 or 4 Man City players. Overall, in the voting from the football writers, 9 Manchester City players received votes. 9 Man City players.
It could have been. I mean, De Bruyne, Foden, Gundogan.
Well, I was just going to go through them because I was thinking about this earlier with the drive team, and it's actually hard to nail down which 9 they are. So, Dias, Stones, Ederson. Stop me if you think in any of these wouldn't be in. Kevin De Bruyne, Foden, Gundogan, Mahrez, Cancelo, Walker. Does that mean Bernardo Silva doesn't get in, or Sterling?
I think the 2 full-backs. I'm not having that.
Kyle Walker?
No, I think he's been just his normal season. I think he hasn't been better than he normally is. He went through a spell where he got dropped from the side at the start of the season, remember? He was second choice, but he got back into the team. Yeah,
but you got to remember, Ruben Dias didn't get paid. This is why I didn't vote for Dias, right? He played in the 2-0 defeat at Spurs when Mourinho was in charge, and City kind of dominated the game.
Who was outside of him,
but
that game?
I'll find out in a second. But he wasn't paired, it wasn't Stones. He wasn't paired with Stones until after that game. So you're talking the end of November before they get paired together. So was that all about Ruben Dias then, or is it the partnership of Dias and Stones?
That's what I'm saying. I always think with centre-backs, it's about the partnership. I honestly do. It's the communication and between them, and those two together seem to hit it off. They are excellent.
This is why I think it's actually quite harsh on Stones. By the way, it was Laporte who was with Dias at Spurs in the 2-0 defeat. That game was kind of a watershed, really, and things changed after that. And Stones was crucial to that. So I think if it's going to be one of those 2 defenders, it's Stones, because he made the big change, him being paired with Dias. But it's the 2 of them together, really. Yeah. And that's why I struggled to pick out one of those 2. Now, you've got a player, for me, in Mason Mount, who has done it consistently throughout the whole season. I don't think he's ever dropped below a 7 out of 10, and I think there's been times when he's up there 8 or 9 out of 10. That is a huge level of consistency at a club that's changed manager, a club with expectation, and the level of quality he's had every game throughout the season, not just from the end of November onwards. I'm talking every game. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Well, it is a good point, but I still think with the season Manchester City have had, I'd be usually disappointed if I was a player at that club if one of them didn't win it. And I expect the player of the year from the players to be a Manchester City player. I do. I really do.
Does that work every season? If you win the title, then it's got to be.
It's not so much the title. It's in all games. You know what I mean? It's in all games, Ada. Every competition.
Apart from all those before the end of November.
Yeah. But the way he came up, that was management, thinking on his feet, changing it.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, thinking on his feet and changing it and getting the best out of his players. But I just think this season, with Manchester City in all competitions, going for them all, have been excellent. And I wouldn't have. I still can't believe there's 700 members voted 9 different players.
That's amazing.
I mean, how can that happen?
Because they've all got different opinions on who's the best.
Yeah, I know.
But doesn't that tell you what?
But come on.
This is where we're coming to, that it is.
We're talking.
This Man City team, it's a team. It's not individuals. I know there's some brilliant individuals, but they function as a team. So when De Bruyne's out and then Gundogan comes in, when Aguero's not been playing this season, they manage to find a way of playing and certain players fit in there.
But who voted for Ederson?
I honestly don't know if Ederson was one of those. I don't know what the 9 are. I don't know who they are other than De Bruyne and Dias. That's all we know so far. I'm fascinated by it. I'd love to know for certain. I'm trying to find out who the 9 Man City players were. But is it that inconceivable that there might be 9 different opinions on certain players? I think.
Well, if one of them's the goalkeeper, I don't get that one.
Okay.
At Manchester City, how many saves has he actually?
It may not.
I'm just saying if he is though.
But think of the assists.
Well, it's not going to be Aguero. It's not going to be Jesus.
But think about Ederson when some of those passes he's had where it's actually led to a goal, and you think, wow, he could be an outfield player. Maybe it's for that reason rather than any saves he's had to make. People will have their own different views, and that's what it's all about. It's all about different opinions. But Dias is the player of the season. And just one other thing, why I don't necessarily think it had to be a Man City player this season. It's because they've lost 6 games this season. That's double the amount Liverpool lost last season. They're going to finish with a maximum of 86 points, which is 13 fewer than Liverpool last season and way fewer than their best ever total. So, yes, they've been the best team, no doubt about that. But I don't think they've been the best champions we've seen in Premier League history. So I don't think it was such a given. Last season, you had to have a Liverpool player, surely. So, but this season, really?
But the foot's come off the pedal the last few weeks as well, by the way.
Maybe.
It has, Ed. Come on. I mean, with the Champions League final round the corner, it's come off the pedal.
But hold on.
Losing to Brighton.
Yeah. And who was at the back? Dias and Stones. Who got sat on his backside, not once but twice by Trossard? Ruben Dias, player of the season. There's no 7 or 8 out of 10 there for Ruben Dias.
Too late. The votes are already in by then.
I know. Listen, if you want to talk about it, want to nominate somebody else, feel free. Or you think I'm a fool for picking Mason Mount. Wasn't even in the top 3.
Oh, that was your vote, wasn't it?
That's who I voted for, Mason Mount. So
sensible.
I stand by it. How can you? The consistency levels and the quality. I didn't see anybody else really with that level. Every single game. Have you seen them have a bad game?
See, they're not on the same level as you are. All these other journalists.
This is why I'm sitting here with you, mate.
Can I put my name down for get a vote or not? How do you get on?
Well, you join the Football Writers Association, mate.
You have to join it.
Yeah, of course you do. Yes, of course. So you pay for a vote. There's all sorts of privileges.